Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss part 41 of the important notes for biochemistry so that you can easily able to answer the one-liners and the MCQs in your exam. Central dogma of molecular biology. Now what is the central dogma of life? The flow of the information from the DNA to RNA and then to proteins. It is known as the central dogma of life or central dogma of the molecular biology. Reverse transcription is the synthesis of the DNA from RNA. Okay, this is known as the reverse transcription. That means synthesis of the DNA from the RNA by enzyme named as the RNA dependent DNA polymerase. Reverse transcription occurs in the retrovirus such as HIV virus, transposons and telomerase. DNA replication and synthesis of histones occurs in the S phase of the cell cycle, very important. DNA replication is a semi-conservative process which actually occurs in the nature. Over here, one parental strand is conserved each time. Prokaryotes have one origin of replication known as the ORI, while eukaryotes have multiple ORI sites. The origin of replication or the ORI is AT-rich sequence and can be separated easily. DNA replication is bidirectional. Over here the replication moves in both directions from the ORI. What is ORI? ORI means the origin of replication. Suppose over from the here the replication actually started. So this location is known as the ORI. Simple. Okay, and this the DNA replication is actually a bidirectional process in which the replication moves in both directions. Okay. The temperature at which the half of the helical structure is lost is known as the melting point. Okay, TM or the melting point. High GC content of the DNA raises the melting point. Enzymes of the DNA replication are many. Okay, so let's discuss this individually. First of all, we have the helicase enzyme. Now this is the helicase enzyme. Now this DNA helicase is also known as helix destabilizing enzyme. Okay, and this DNA helicase basically unwinds the DNA, or we can say double helical structure of the DNA at the replication fork. Okay. Now next is the topoisomerase. Okay. So function of topoisomerase is basically it relaxes the DNA from its supercoiled nature. Okay. Now next is the single strand DNA binding protein. Okay. Now this single strand DNA binding protein, as you can see over here, they basically binds to the single stranded DNA. Okay. And this particular SSBs actually prevent the DNA double helix from re-annealing after DNA helicase unwinds it. Okay, and thus this SSB actually prevent this particular single stranded DNA to again re-anneal and form the double helical structure. Okay, and thus this SSB actually maintains the strand separation, right? So simply remember the function of the SSBs is to prevent the re-annealing of the single stranded DNA. Okay. Now next are the DNA primase. Now the function of the DNA primase is to provide a starting point of the RNA, or we can say DNA, for the DNA polymerase. For the DNA polymerase, as you can see, these are the DNA polymerase. Okay, so this DNA primase actually provides a starting point of RNA or DNA for the DNA polymerase to begin synthesis of the new DNA strands. Okay. Now next are the DNA polymerase 3 and DNA polymerase 1. So over here this DNA polymerase basically over here the main function is to build a new duplex DNA strand by adding nucleotides basically in the 5' to 3' direction. Also they perform the function of the proofreading and the error correction. And finally the DNA ligase. Now what is the function of the DNA ligase? Over here these are the DNA ligase. So DNA ligase basically re-anneals the semi-conservative strand and joins the Okazaki fragments of the lagging strands. So this was the overall view of all the enzymes of the DNA replication. So let's revise this again. Helicase basically causes the strand separation using ATP and creates the positive supercoil. So over here this is the helicase. Now next is the topoisomerase. Now this topoisomerase basically cuts and reseals the DNA and relaxes the positive supercoiling without the use of ATP and gains energy from the cleavage of the phosphodiester bonds. Now the topoisomerase enzyme may be of many types. Now first of all, the type 1 topoisomerase basically cuts one strand. Topoisomerase 2 basically cuts two strands. Now DNA gyrase. DNA gyrase is actually a counterpart of the topoisomerase 2 in the prokaryotes. Now this enzyme basically uses ATP and introduces the negative supercoils. Now the helicase and the topoisomerase work in tandem to do the strand separation. Now next is the single-stranded binding proteins, single-stranded DNA binding proteins. Now this SSBs basically prevents the reannealing or the rejoining of the two separated strands, as they have high affinity for single strand and also they protect from the nucleases attack. Remember, these single-stranded DNA binding proteins are not enzymes. Now replication protein A, RPA. Now in the eukaryotes, now this replication protein A basically helps in the prevention of the reannealing. Now the helicase, topoisomerase and the single-stranded DNA binding proteins together are known as the unbinding proteins. Now the primase basically synthesize the primers RNA or DNA maybe from the template DNA. Now DNA dependent RNA polymerase in replication is the primase. In eukaryotes, alpha polymerase synthesizes the primers. In prokaryotes, DNA G protein synthesizes the primers. The template or the parent strand is read from the 5' to 3' direction. So remember, the template or the parent strand is always read from the 3' to 5' direction. The strand synthesized in one stretch is known as the leading strand. The strands synthesized in short fragments known as the Okazaki fragments are known as the lagging strand. Only one primer is needed for leading strand, but multiple primers are required for lagging strand. So today up till here, we'll discuss about the further important notes and we will complete this particular DNA replication in our next video. Thank you so much.